Hello once again, welcome to another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this miniature version of a tote bag. So you're going to need yarn. This is milk cotton yarn. You can use any other type of yarn that you have or any size. Just make sure that it is not too thick because you're making a mini tote bag. And make sure you use a corresponding crochet hook. This one here is a 4mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a tapestry needle to fasten off the ends on the bag, scissors, and you're also going to need stitch markers. You're also going to need a button and a sewing needle and thread. That is if you want to attach a button. This is for decoration purposes here, or you can leave it without, like that one. So this is optional. So let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a slip knot. Wrap your yarn around your hand. Okay, so this is my slip knot, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull through the loop on the hook like this. Okay, that's my first chain that I just did. Again, pull through 2 chains, 3, so I'm going to make 10 chains. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So we now have 10 chains. Okay, so we're going to begin the first round. I'm going to skip the first 3 chains from the hook. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to insert my hook into the 4th one. Okay, we're going to crochet double crochet in US terms and it's treble crochet in UK terms. So you yarn over into the 4th chain from the hook, insert your hook, pick up a loop so that you have 3 loops on the hook like this. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. So I'm just going to mark this stitch that we just did. Okay, at the top. Next we move into the next chain, yarn over, insert your hook, pick up a loop. Okay, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2. Okay, again in the next one, yarn over, pull through, and over, pull through. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now we're left with 2 chains. Like this. Okay, now in the last chain, because we want to crochet it in rounds, we're going to put 5 double crochets in this last chain. Okay, so insert and over, through 2, 1, another double crochet in the same chain, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one. 5. Okay, so now you find that we've curved, and now we want to start crocheting at the back of the chain. Okay, so we're going to be inserting our hook at the back of each chain. So if you stretch, you'll find that we have these small spaces at the back of the chains here. Okay, that's where we're going to be inserting our hook, and we're going to put 1 double crochet at the back of each chain. Okay, let me just cut this tail a bit short. Okay, so yarn over, insert. So I'm just going to crochet it around this tail so that we hide it as we crochet. Okay, pull through and over, pull through 2, pull through 2. We'll move to the next one here. Okay, okay, the next one. So if this tail here is disturbing you, you can leave it and then you can fasten it off later on. Okay, like this. So we do this up until we are back at the starting point. Okay, now we're left with 2 spaces, 1, 2. Okay, let's put another one here. Now we are left with this one here. Okay, so you find that at this side we put 5 double crochets at this other end, and already here we have this double crochets that is coming, this double crochet that is coming from this point. This chain 3 here is not going to count as a stitch, and we're going to ignore it. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 more double crochets so that we have 5. Okay, so in that chain, 1, again, 2, again, 3, and then the last one, 4. Now we're at the end of the round, but we have this small gap here. So to close this one, we're going to join the first stitch and the last stitch with a slip stitch. Okay, so I'm going to insert my hook. Remember, we marked this stitch here. Okay, in that stitch. However, we're going to insert in the back loop only, like this. Okay, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch like that. So this completes the first round. Now, beginning the next round, I'm going to chain 3. Now this time, this chain 3 is going to represent my first double crochet. Okay, and I also want you to take note that this slip stitch that we did at the end, this one, does not count as a stitch, so you do not crochet into this last stitch here, the slip stitch, okay, that we used to join the first and the last stitch, this one. Okay, so now we have a chain 3, and we're going to be crocheting in the back loop only. So you find that at the top of our stitches we have the back and the front. Okay, we have this V here, so these are top loops, so we have the front loop and the back loop. So here I want us to mark the chain 3, 1, 2, 3, this chain 3 here. Okay, let's move to the next one. So we're going to be inserting in the back loop, the front, the back. Okay, in the back loop and over, pull through 2 and over, pull through 2. So I'm crocheting this a bit loose so that you see the stitches clearly. Okay, next the front loop, the back loop. So you're going to insert in the back loop and work 1 double crochet. Sorry, like that. Let's move to the next one in the back loop. Okay, don't worry if it is a bit loose, and okay, if you get the hang of it, you then start crocheting a bit tighter or to your desired tension. Okay, so I'm just going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch in the back loop only. Okay, right round. So putting 1 double crochet in the back loop. Okay, sorry, like this. Here at the curve, 1 double crochet in the back loop only. Okay, in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the back loop. In the next one, 1 double crochet. So I'm just going to turn this like this. Okay. Okay, so now we're left with this last stitch here. So we said this one is a slip stitch that was joining the first and the last stitch of the previous round. So it doesn't count as a stitch. So you just ignore it and skip it. Okay. So now we're at the end of the round, of the second round. Okay. So this is the first round. We have a demarcation here, and then the second round. So here at the end, I'm going to insert my hook in this chain 3 that I marked here, this one. So you insert like this. This chain 3, okay. And then we join with a slip stitch. So you slip stitch, you grab your yarn, and then pull through the loop on the hook. So if you're a beginner, you can start by counting the total number of your stitches and make sure that each round you maintain the same number of stitches. One way that you can mistake and increase the number of your stitches is by crocheting into the slip stitch, okay. And also sometimes a person might skip the next stitch, this one, okay, and this reduces the number of your stitches. So next we chain 3 to begin the third round, 2 and then 3. Make sure you mark this third chain like this. That is if you're a beginner and you're still having a difficult time identifying your stitches and loops. Now we move to the next stitch, yarn over, insert in the back loop, pull through 2, pull through the last 2, okay. Into the next one, insert, pull through. So just going to continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch in the back loop. So now we're left with 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Remember, the last one we said you ignore it. It doesn't count as a stitch. It's a slip stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in this one, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch here. So do not worry about these gaps. I did this a little bit loose so that you see at the beginning of the round. However, with time, it can come out like this. Okay. So next, I'm going to join with a slip stitch here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then here. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, if you want, you mark again the third chain. Then we move to the next stitch. So I'm just going to do this last round, and then we'll come back to put the handle. Okay, so here we're now back at the starting point. We now have 4 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4. We now want to put the handle. So I normally do this even on bigger bags. So you first count the total number of your stitches. So it depends whether you want 2 handles or you just want 1 handle. Okay, so this one has 1 handle and this one has 2 handles like this. So first of all, I have 20 stitches here at the top. So I'm going to mark my stitches on the edges. So what I do, I first mark the top stitch here along the first edge, like this one, Then I count, beginning in the following stitch that is marked, I'm going to count 10 stitches. I have a total number of 20, so I divide that by 2 to get 10. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I put the next stitch marker here. Okay, like this one. So if you want this type of handle, you start crocheting in this marked stitch and then join in the other marked stitch. However, I'm going to show you how to make this type of handles. So I have 4 more stitches here, stitch markers. So you decide if you want a handle that begins from this point to this point, or you just want to skip a few stitches. So you determine the space that you're going to leave here. Okay, I'm going to skip 3 stitches and then mark for my handle. So I'll start counting beginning in this one. 1, 2, 3. So I'll mark the 3rd stitch, then I'll skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I mark the 5th one. Okay, like this. Okay, it might be small. So I have 1, 2, 3, and then I have skipped 4 stitches. Then I have 1, 2, 3. So we come again this side. 1, 2, 3. You mark. Skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you mark in the 5th one. Okay. So like this. So I'm going to remove this one, and then I'm going to remove this one. So you're trying to make sure that your handle and the number of stitches that you skip on both sides are as equal as possible. So they might vary, with 1 or 2 is still fine. Okay, so next let's crochet our handle. So I'm going to crochet slip stitch, so in the back loop only. So I'm going to insert in this one, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. Okay, so I'm going to crochet again in this marked stitch. Insert, pull through, and then pull through, and then I'm going to crochet my handle. So I'm going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you want a longer handle, you just increase the number of chains. Let's make them 9. And then I'm going to come again in this marked stitch and then make another slip stitch. Let's remove the stitch marker. Okay, so we have our first handle. Then I'm going to continue again with slip stitch in the back loop. So if you're making any other type of bag, you just continue with the stitch that you want. If it's double crochet, if it's single crochet. So because this is a mini bag, I just chose to finish up with slip stitch. And then in this marked stitch, again in the back loop, and then we chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again come this marked stitch in the back loop, and make sure that your small handle is not twisted before you join. Okay, and then we finish up. Slip stitch, and then slip stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this and then we fasten off. So if you want to strengthen your handle or increase the thickness of your handle, you can continue with slip stitch in the back loop, and then you crochet even at the top of the handles. Okay, so here I'm going to pull through and fasten off using a tapestry needle, this one. So you just hide it inside the bag nicely and neatly. Okay, So we have our mini tote bag. Nice, right? Okay. So here, if you want, you can put a button just for decoration purposes. Okay. There we have our mini tote bag. And if you want to use this as a key holder, you have. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like and comment for more videos.